Hello. Today I will be discussing the gut-brain connection. Think about all the times you have ever felt butterflies in your stomach before something important, or the gut-wrenching feeling you get after receiving some bad news. We often write off these feelings as figures of speech, but they're actually a literal description of your body's second brain hard at work. I bet you didn't know that you had two brains. One of them's right here. Today I'm going to inform you about how your digestive health directly impacts your mental state. Understanding this connection will give you the power to naturally improve your mood, focus, and anxiety levels through the food that you eat. To fully understand this connection, we will first explore how the gut and brain physically communicate. Second, we will break down how your everyday diet shapes your gut bacteria. And finally, we will discuss practical dietary changes you can implement to optimize your mental well-being. These are the three things we'll be discussing. The gut and brain are physically and chemically linked through a complex communication network known as the gut-brain axis. The physical connection relies heavily on the vagus nerve, which is a direct pathway between your gut and your brain. This nerve contains millions of neurons that run directly from your brainstem straight down to your gastrointestinal tract. According to a 2022 review published in Nature Review Gastroenterology, while it is well known that the brain sends signals downwards, turns out an astonishing 90% of the signals are traveling along the vagus nerve are actually moving upward towards your brain from your gut. The gut is also responsible for producing the vast majority of chemicals that regulate our emotions. Neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, help dictate our feelings of happiness and calm. As noted by Harvard Health Publishing, roughly 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in your gastrointestinal tract, meaning that your gut environment heavily dictates your emotional baseline. Now that you understand the physical and chemical connection between your gut and your brain, let's take a closer look at how the foods we eat choose to directly impact how you feel on a daily basis. The food we consume acts as the primary foundation for our gut microbiome, directly affecting our mental health. The gut microbiome is made up of trillions of live bacteria, and they thrive or starve based on what we feed them. A diet high in ultra-processed foods, refined sugars, and artificial additives feed the bad bacteria, which causes issues over time such as inflammation. Chronic inflammation in the gut can cross into the bloodstream, triggering systematic neuroinflammation of the brain. This is heavily linked to increases in depression and anxiety. Dietary choices can radically change the balance of this microbiome in just a matter of days. Eating a standard American diet, which consists of high saturated fats, can drastically reduce the microbial diversity, which is bad for your body. Dr. Felice Jacka, a pioneer in nutritional psychiatry, noted in her landmark SMILES trial that individuals with moderate to severe depression that shifted away from processed foods showed a significant reduction in their depressive symptoms after just 12 weeks. Having seen how our diet determines the health and diversity of our gut microbiome, now we can shift to the daily steps that you can take to eat your way to a happy and healthier mind. Implementing targeted, practical dietary changes can optimize your gut environment and actively protect your mental well-being. The first strategy is incorporating prebiotic foods to feed the good bacteria you already have in your stomach. Prebiotics are non-digestible plant fibers that act as fuel for your microbiome. Easily accessible prebiotics include garlic, onions, oats, bananas, as well as asparagus. The second strategy is introducing live, beneficial bacteria directly into your system through the probiotics as well as fermented foods. Fermented foods physically introduce diverse strains of healthy bacteria to help rebuild a damaged gut lining. Yogurt with live cultures, kefir, kombucha, sauerkraut, and kimchi have all proven to be staples for mental clarity and stress resilience. Simply increasing your dietary diversity is a highly effective shield against psychological stress. You should be aiming for 30 different plant-based foods per week to ensure your gut bacteria stays robust and versatile. In conclusion, We have looked at the profound connection between what we eat and how we think. We've explored the physical connection of the gut-brain axis, examined how processed foods versus whole foods alter our internal ecosystem, and mapped out simple ways to use prebiotics and probiotics to naturally support our mental well-being. The next time you sit down for a meal, remember that you aren't just feeding your appetite, you are feeding your mood. Take care of your gut, and your mind will react accordingly. Thank you and have a good day.